Kote.
Let's see.
If you can think of nothing, you can always sacrifice your turn to be teamworking someone to add a +1 to them.
Yeah, I could do that. I'm trying to think. That might be better than trying to use a +2 skill to create an advantage. Why don't I do that? I'll guarantee a +1 instead of potentially making it harder.
And physique will help us throw.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll roll up my sleeves, and then everybody will ask me to roll them back down.
Oh!
So yeah, I'll give up my turn and help lift.
Okay.
Don't make the throw up sound.
Please.
It's
Stop.
Stop.
okay. There's going to be another flash cut to below. The water gets more and more tremulous as this creature kind of hones in on you. Pale Lady, you're in her element as much as yours. And winding its head back, you can see this large weave of tendrils lash out again. So physique to create advantage, challenge a 6.
Create an advantage. So is that against my physique or just my...
Athletics or physique to dodge. I mean, you currently
I'll
have
always
two.
say athletic.
Okay.
Yeah!
Whoa!
Yeah!
One
yeah.
boost.
Woo! Woo!
Nice, not bad. Throwing its tendrils forward, some of them are snagged on your work and just go wide, leaving you completely out of the worst of it. And kind of trying to straighten itself back out, the creature will say, "There is nothing but hunger in the ocean. You should know, sister." Your turn.
I'm going to try to swim up again.
Yeah. Guess what? You got a physique of 6 coming your way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's do it again.
All right. So, yeah, that's 2. You will be able to surface, and that'll be it.
Yeah, I will surface.
All right.
Long enough to get hit in the head with a barrel.
As I am rising, I float back down unconscious.
Makes a Donkey Kong noise.
The Pale Lady will say, "All hunger comes to an end."
What?
What?
Get
What?
back here and say that to my face.
I can't hear you. I'm underwater.
No.
Say that to my childbirthing hips.
Oh.
You don't even see her stilettos that they end in.
Oh, yeah.
Stiletto
One
heels.
giant stiletto.
Yeah, it's formed to her skin because that's empowering.
You don't see the garter belt.
Okay, so currently you are floating above the water.
I breach.
Great. You have your action. What will you do?
Let's see. I see everybody's on the ship. That's great. Can't move. Or can I move with my action?
Use your
No.
action, you could.
Yeah, I'll use my action. The Pale Lady will kind of swivel quickly, knowing that, you know, the barrier she's created won't hold, and noting that there doesn't seem to be anyone else in the water, and the hollering from the ship, she's going to try to swim in that direction.
Yeah, Glenn Bakes will shout out, "She's breached, Captain! Not 200 feet out!"
Rakote will say, "Ready the sails."
Yeah. Your ascent will be met by all these men rushing towards their posts.
I need to beat a 1 athletics.
Oh,
right?
you did. Yeah. Oh, did you? Not yet. Okay.
I have not rolled yet.
Yep. Athletics challenge at 1.
Great.
Woo!
I wasn't too worried about it, but you know, it could always go wrong.
Could happen though. Okay. Yeah, you can even throw yourself onto the ship if that is your wish.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Great.
Or maybe I'll just be kind of clinging to the side of it in case I feel like I need to go back out. But she will grab the edge of the ship, maybe one of the side boats. As we cut to Crow lobbing more bombs over the edge.
Yeah, Crow. What's the dramatic cut?
Yeah, there's her finally grabbing onto the side, and then the rain-soaked camera shoots up and crash zooms on him with a heave. And we heave. +1.
Challenge of 3. Woo! Not bad.
You almost heave it, but you almost drop it, and then Rakote's massive swollen arm.
Just a single buff bicep catches it on a finger. You dropped this.
Yeah, Crow, it sails confidently overhead, and the Pale Lady, you hear satisfying kind of sound of the barrel landing in the water behind you.
She'll call up and say, "The Hydra is restrained, but only momentarily."
She says it's caught, Captain. Yeah, perfect. Rastavan.
Well,
He doesn't do it.
He was on the Hydra side the whole time.
He's like snapping, but they're not going off because it's wet. And he's like, "Oh shoot, I can't create a spark. Sorry, guys.
Damn.
It's wet. It's raining."
I'll blow him up.
Sure.
Are we able to enhance the damage? What are these tied up? When did you tie her up?
Oh, underwater as she's coming up. She was trying to grab the Pale Lady, and then she decided to bind some of them. So yeah, I'd say you could use them.
Cool.
Oh, all right.
Can we get there? Probably not. That's like, what, 14? It's 30?
Yeah. So you'd be at 9, and then +4, so 13.
Okay.
But which is good, that's fine. 13 damage. Who
13
cares?
damage.
13 fucking damage.
Yeah,
Who
it's
cares? That's insane. Rastavan, just for the point of cinematics, you would wait for her to come up to the surface, right?
Yeah. Well, probably hit her while she's down there, force her up.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. In that case, there will be a shot from below, and just kind of the water bulging. Everyone on the ship, you feel the Anophilia begin to lilt to her left as all this water is pushed upwards to what almost seems like a geyser. And at the point where the water tension almost seems ready to break, you see the 2 floating barrels ahead of it. And there is a moment, a flash, and then there is a deafening explosion as all 9 plus the 4 advantages ignite simultaneously, dealing 13 damage.
We all start
bad.
celebrating and clapping and like high-fiving each other, and then we see things not even bloodied yet.
Yeah.
It's an android fight in DBZ. She comes trundling out of the smoke.
Oh.
There will just kind of be a really bassy sound, a kind of a wail that echoes along this entire sea line, almost down to your very bones, as this creature breaches and is immediately scorched.
The captain will call, "Leave her to her bloodied water. We leave now."
All right. Okay. What we are going to do now then, you have basically done everything you needed to. You have established the ship. You have your marching orders. I think there's going to be one last drive then, but you can create an advantage for that if you'd like. Rakote. There's going to be one last drive I require from the party.
Okay. What advantage do you want me to? What do you want me to use to create?
If you want to, I'm just saying. Basically, currently, on the Hydra's turn, it is going to try and do one last kind of lash out at the Amphilee, and you can see that coming towards you.
But yeah, I could probably roll contacts, get everybody to. Is there any credence to moving? Do you move shit around? Do you lift anchors or sandbags or some shit? You move sails and stuff.
Yeah, I would more so just be noticing like the wind or something. Like
Yeah.
making sure that every sail is full.
Yeah,
Full masted.
we'll do that.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, that'll that'll just do it.
okay, yeah, I go and I start
boost.
calling it out, and somebody walks by with a boombox.
Somebody
It
starts
is.
talking when you do.
It is hard to speak over the ringing in your ears from the explosive, so let's chalk it up to that.
I like that. Yeah, with everything going on and probably the underwater screech of this fucking ethereal creature, Rakote does his best to try to call above it and start organizing people.
And for the final thing here, the Hydra is going to lift two of its kind of largest tendrils towards your ship and almost like make a sweep as if it was trying to push all of you off. So Crow, what you're gonna have to do is roll against a, what would that be? Fight. You're gonna roll against a 4 fight using drive. Any damage that you succeed, or if you fail under it, that amount of damage is going to be done to everybody on board. So if like it's a 4 fight, if you get a 3, everyone takes 1 damage. If you get a 2, everyone takes 2 damage.
All right, let's do this, gang. Witness me.
Oh no, it's Declan rolling.
Witness me.
Oh.
Does
There's
anybody
there's no one left to witness you.
Does anybody have fate points?
Yeah,
I got
I
plenty.
did. Yeah.
I used them all on Popeye.
I got four
What?
of
What'd
them.
I do?
Okay.
What did I do?
You suck. That dude gets it. I love that guy.
Yuck.
So yeah, let's go down the line. Who wants to spend fate points?
I'm
I
out.
will.
Okay.
I have 4 of
Is
them.
there anybody that has anything they could tap to help Declan re-roll maybe on a situational aspect?
Nope, can't think of anything. Guess we're fucked.
That would be a lot of damage.
I mean, well. Yeah, well, that's more of an action. I was thinking of the cannons, but no one's using them. Or the explosion.
The fate
itself.
point might sort of make people use them, like that adds to the scene.
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, we don't have to. We could pitch. We don't have to argue against it.
Yeah, no, I would buy that personally. Like they were setting up for when you guys were leaving, so the aspect of readied cannons, that makes sense to me. Plus, I feel like that whole hot lead thing, I didn't really give you a chance to pay that off, unfortunately. So, I guess you could use that on your
advantages of
reroll.
that.
Yeah, I guess you could use that on your reroll. Declan should have been on.
Okay. I like to imagine that the way Rostovan contributes this is, I don't know if it works like this, but the scene that if I were directing this, he'd put both his hands up and the like 3 cannons would alight remotely and go off.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah,
The Wizard
the
of
steady
Oz.
glow of the cannons. There'll be like an intense red heat at the base of them. And
I didn't think of that. He could ostensibly set guns off from a distance just by kind of willing
That'd be
it
a
to.
cool stunt. Okay. Yeah, no, I buy it. So, and you do have 2 uses if you want to use one here for your drive.
Anybody else want to throw anything in? Currently we have 1 reroll, and you know I'm just going to get a -2 again.
Yeah, he's gonna get the exact same roll again.
Yeah, he's gonna get-
somebody else.
You need to
Anybody
help
else.
me.
He could still get a -3 too. That's a
Yep,
possibility.
Sure could.
We can't count that out.
I mean, I could I theoretically tap the net I made, or is that out of effect now?
When it blew up, I think that's out.
Yeah. We only used free
Figured.
invocations, but an explosion probably in fiction got rid of that.
I'm not really sure what I could tap.
David, are you out?
I'm clean out.
He saved Popeye. He was talking about
I
it.
did, yeah. He was gonna choke on his cigar if I didn't. Do you have any aspects about like knowing the waters? Like, could there be something there about like?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do have, but it's really about me. Like, the Sea's Gift protects me from it. I'm not really sure how I translate that.
Sure, that's fine. I didn't know if you had like a
To a
navigational
ship.
one.
No. I'm trying to. I could use my spider silk, obviously.
Oh yes.
Don't say obviously
Spider
because you're
silk.
wrong.
Yeah, put that on.
It's chunky and blocky from the water.
Yeah.
It's got rough
It's got ribs.
pockets.
Yeah,
No, it's ribbed.
Ribbed for her pleasure.
that's right.
I hate that.
I hate it.
You whip Rakote in the back with it really hard, and he starts crying. It's really uncomfortable.
Pustules break as it happens.
I guess I'm just gonna start from what we gave me so far. So I get a reroll and add a +2 from hot lead.
Yep.
Roll again. Of course.
Well, much better this time at least.
Gonna be 3 stress currently.
So 3 crew-wide stress currently.
Yep.
Shit, I'm still in severe consequence or extreme consequence territory. That's fine.
Whoa,
I mean,
really? Holy shit.
We're in the last episode.
Okay.
I would have liked to get like hit by the sea monster instead of like I wobble on the ship and my arm explodes.
It's kind of on the fringe of teamwork fate pointing, but we do have readied ship for just all-around ship goodness.
Also true.
So I don't know
That's
about
true.
if Mac like touching the ship sort of
I am on
gives
the
her
ship, yeah.
tangential access.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Maybe somebody catches me before I
Before we fall into the water.
impale my brain on a.
The moment
Before
that
the boat gif happens.
I'm not even opposed to taking one, honestly. I had one in mind. I don't want it to be like bumping into the edge of the ship.
I mean, I'm happy. I can bust the fate point that I got, and I'll tap the readied ship aspect.
All right, thank you.
It's up to a 3 against a 4, you said?
Yep. So it'll only be 1.
We have 1 crew-wide damage currently.
Okay.
Still fills my 2 slot, so that sucks. But
Yeah, we gotta save her from that, guys. Let's put our
All
heads
right,
together
hold
here.
on. Let's put our heads together. Kane, I'm gonna compel myself.
To die?
To jump
Yeah.
back in.
Just,
You see a shadow man.
oh,
You realize, yeah. He's
Oh
got
my
an
God.
angel wing and a devil wing.
oh shit! That's him. That's my swim coach. I can't leave him
saved
out
him.
there.
You called me, I'm here.
Rakote, I just ate. I'm cramping.
That's a myth.
You're not cramping. Try swimming.
I'm sinking, Rakote.
In that case, the 1. You are an accomplished sailor, Crow. You have seen these creatures. You know these beasts, and you will be their master. And you're banking the craft wide to the left. You watch as the worst of this thing just crashes directly off the port of your ship. It's kind of like a sickening large tendril that just misses you as you sail beneath it.
Yeah, he's going to surf the ship just under it, and as the waves rock us in the wake, there's just a montage of like the crew catching Rakote to keep him from like impaling his other eye on a barrel. Everyone's stabilizing each other.
And kind of realizing what you've done and looking behind you, there's a glimmer of satisfaction as this wounded creature lets out one final wail and it dies back into the deep below. I'm sure there's a few tense moments waiting to see if the creature resurfaces, but after 10, 20, 30 minutes, you think that you're quit of it.
Yeah, I imagine at that point they're sailors. There's probably a cheer.
Yeah, probably.
There's barrels being opened.
Yeah.
Barrels of gunpowder, and they all start eating out of it, just raw handfuls.
Oh god.
Yeah, there will be a moment of quiet and then the cheer when they realize as much, and kind of like worried laughter amongst many of them as they look back. And then Banks will shout out, "The Hydra! How many can argue that they've survived a creature as rough as that? None. They sink to the bottom of the ocean, but us, no. We rise above it. To the captain!"
When he asks who could have the privilege of claiming that there's just a brief camera shot of Crow steering the ship back and forth before it cuts back to them.
Yeah, I've run into her like 3 times. We dated once.
It's awkward.
But at the call for a celebration of their captain, everyone will let out a Crow. And then one of the men will just say, he dived in, brought Banks back himself. I saw that. And it'll just kind of be that tone, that revelry, and that reverence paid to you.
Yeah, Rakote will he'll raise his glass and he'll say, "I can take hardly any of the credit. Each and every one of you is extraordinary. It takes an entire crew to weather a storm like that. You should all be proud of yourselves."
Yeah, they will kind of respectfully go quiet, just kind of like nodding, giving you the proper diligence. And then Robert Davies will say, the captain is right, but we are still 4 days from port. The Amphilee must see its safe harbor once more. There's still work to be done. And kind of cutting it short a bit, you'll see the men kind of nod and attend to their posts.
I'm having a fate thought right now.
Yeah.
That I feel, I just feel we should exercise because I think we should remember it in the future. It was only 2 barrels, and I don't think we even fired any cannon shots, but it might be worth denoting a situational aspect about what our supplies are like after that affair. So that's the thing that matters in the future. Is it diminished or is it middling? We did 2 barrels. How much is that on average?
I would think you'd have it quite a few more, right?
Yeah, so maybe middling stocks.
Sure.
I like that better, but if anyone has any ideas.
Because it doesn't have to be dramatic since we only did so much, but I think stuff like a situational aspect denoting something we might want to fix by like shopping in the future could be, more mechanical.
Really cool.
That's very smart.
Yeah, I like that. It also gives resource characters a little bit more sway and power, makes it a better stat. That's
something.
Good thinking, Declan. I like that a lot.
Smart now and in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
In anyone's setting.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you had stayed behind a finisher, maybe it'd be a different story. But
that'd probably
as
be
it is,
depleted.
Yeah.
My medicine was to start healing my consequences, which I am going to start healing my moderate consequence that I still haven't had mending.
Unfortunately, you'll have to use a fate point for that.
Oh, sorry, mild. I meant.
Oh yeah, no worries. Okay, the mild. You can basically take that off your sheet at this point. You got 4 more days to port. You're fine. It'll be gone by the time you get there. And I give you another. Let's give you another 2 medicine rolls if you'd like to treat anyone else.
Yeah, I don't know who's. I mean, we've got Glenn, who's hurt.
Don't worry. I'll be upfront. Worry about the players. The NPCs will get back up.
Glenn can bleed.
He dies.
Yeah.
All right.
Glenn's so far gone at this point.
What kind of consequences do we have out there right now, left untreated?
My severe is mending, and I have a moderate that is
all right,
untouched.
And
I think I have a bite still. It's moderate.
Better bite. All right, I'm gonna roll 2. Okay.
Cool.
Nothing. Or you can roll again and see who you want to give it to.
All right. Well,
if you have a fate point.
I don't. I used it to save our souls. So, well, save Rakote's soul. So.
Well, let's say, Pale Lady, in the scuffle, quite a bit of your kind of your supplies were knocked into the sea. Regarding your belt, you see that you're worse off.
Yeah, after having made such a wild maneuvers in the water, she sort of regards her stock as low and is able to at least treat the jellyfish burns on her own skin naturally.
Perfect. Okay. So now I would ask, sorry, back on the ship, all of you, like I said, have 4 days ahead of you. Is there anything that you would attend to during that time, or should I fast track us to the Port of the Nameless?
I'm gonna call a quick tea. I really have to go to the bathroom, but also, is this a good time for a break?
Let's take a break.
Ooh, should we
I
break?
think it's a good time. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm union. We have mandated breaks.
Yep.
All right. Break it up.
See it. I can fast track us towards the Port of the Nameless, if that is what people want. Is there anything anyone wants to attend to?
No.
Yeah, my sheet's clean. I don't need anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Perfect.
we're good.
All right. In that case, after a few more days' travel, you see the familiar kind of sights of the Port of the Nameless, and then the Parliament of Pleasure on its east end, which you will soon have access to. But for the time being, you are relegated to the Western Island. And so, taking your time there, everyone kind of comes aboard the ship. Each member is kind of looking on. And as they are doing so, to your left, Crow, you will see the kind of glowing presence of Jessica just kind of standing alongside you. And
I squint.
after
She's blinding me with her glow.
and after a moment, she will look up at you and say, "The sailors call you Crow."
He takes a moment to register it and then checks the inside of his coat, and he says,
I will remember that name. And so will my son. And then she is going to take a brooch, kind of the brooch that was keeping her cloak kind of pinned up, and reaching up, she will unfasten it and present to you the emblem of the Tyburn Company. She will push it towards you and say, "Keep this brooch so that he will know you too."
He takes it and looks at it, and it basically means nothing to him currently. He'll say, "Who?"
My son, when he takes his place, as he will. It'll just kind of be a resolution to her eyes as she looks towards the port.
Crow's about to tell her not to bother, but then the value of a good future patsy in his long life sticks out to him, and he will slowly and deliberately pocket the sigil.
Out of anyone, I feel like you or the Pale Lady would be around long enough to actually cash that in.
Yeah. He was about to tell her to just shut her mouth, but he chucks that up along with the island of rats his friend controls in future useful tools.
Perfect. Okay. And kind of squinting forward, she'll have to shield her eyes as alongside your ship, the Anaphilie, you'll have to take a moment as an entire battalion of 6 military cruisers depart from the bay. And kind of as all the traffic comes to a halt, you can see that each boat is carrying no less than 200 gold shirts in their shining regalia. Kind of at the forefront is this man wrapped in fine furs with a lieutenant by his side. And you can see that as they continue heading further east, their direction starts to point further south, and they are gone. I'm kind of giving you your space to continue back to Rakote's abode. And with nothing else to separate you from rest, you continue on. I'm going to need one notice roll. I feel like, yeah, it would be Rakote. Rakote, notice challenge of 1 as you are coming up.
You sail directly into a big ship-sized jail cell.
You see the bars close. Yeah, a big padlock is closed on your hut.
You don't see Tyburn's uppercut as it hits me in the jaw.
All you see is the familiar sights of this city. It's dock workers, it's fishermen, all kind of lined up and attending to their own business. You're arriving midday, so the city's in full swing as you guys move in. And after just a bit more work, you see the warehouse doors open, and you're able to dock once more on the Port of the Nameless.
All right, not seeing the jungle cat in wait. Rakote will have a false sense of security. As what time of day is it?
Let's say noon.
He will approach Jessica and he'll say, "We best not tarry. We shall meet our contact now."
What kind of a man is he?
He'll say,
Smoke.
Smoke? Do you smoke? I want to keep him away from the baby.
Honestly, I would give him a wingspan. He'll say, "A mysterious one, but trustworthy."
Mysterious and trustworthy. If he can be one to our cause, he will. So I'll say it with confidence.
He'll say, "Little Jericho did not survive the Hydra for nothing."
No, he didn't. And she will look back towards Crow and say, I said I would remember him. I'll of course remember you too, Captain.
He'll nod his head, and he'll say, "I imagine we will remember you as well."
She will just give a polite smile, but one kind of weighted with the expectation of what comes next. And she will take her place alongside you. Robert Davies will call down to you, Rakote, and say, Captain, I will prepare the manifest and make sure that all things are attended to. Is there anything that you would like to be attended to specifically in your absence?
He'll say, "Yes, there is a bounty from the sea that shall be exchanged to Professor Linnaeus for a chart to the Parliament of Pleasure. If you could see to that, it would be appreciated."
Of course, sir. Consider it done. And he will go about preparing the fish that you've already kind of lined up in their taxidermy models in order to deliver to Carl Linnaeus. So currently, Rakote is going his own way. Is there anything else? Would people like to tag along with him? Is there somewhere else you would rather set up for?
I am very curious if my boy Fisher has any interest in this place.
um, you will see Fisher immediately leap out. He's learned nothing. There's nothing here. That dog poster doesn't mean anything. That he
It's
hasn't
not
seen.
Not his
Nothing
ugly mug.
that he's seen before. He will pretend like this is the first time he's ever set foot in this place and begin sniffing and like immediately. You'll see him run left, run right, and then run towards the door, hit it, and then start pawing at it.
Hmm.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. All right. Okay. Oh no, this is bad. Oh, this isn't working. You can't grab shit like this. Never mind. And he will look back at you, Pale Lady, and start whining.
Yeah, considering that Fisher has been in search of something for quite some time, she will just follow Fisher, having no real necessity to follow anyone else at current. And she will walk up to the door that Fisher is pawing at and knock.
It's the door outside. That's all it is. He just wants to go outside.
Oh,
He can't open doors.
I
It's
see.
taking a coil right on the front lawn.
Yep. She'll open the door for Fisher.
Yeah, and you will see him take out, realize he needs to find where he's going, begin sniffing, and then kind of trailing through the city if you would keep up with him.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, so we will deal with that. Crow and Rostavan, anything I should set you up with as we delegate these last kind of scenarios?
I'll just go with Rakote, I think.
Okay. Crow.
Crow's gonna go to his material guy Gregor and re-procure. He has to procure a new boat, some new whale bone to hone into his spear.
Yeah. He'll just kind of whistle, saying just how depleted you are, and then regard the missing bone spear and say, "Who was the lucky man?"
He thinks about it for a second, remembers where it went, says, Dead. Bottom of a ravine.
And he took it with him, didn't he?
Left it.
Oh, bad business for him, good business for me, he'll say, just kind of smiling as he always does. He just fucking talks all the time. He expects you to listen to him. And sometimes you're...
Crow's not smiling, but eventually he says, weather. Mostly clear.
Oh, that is good news. My boy and I were going to go out, maybe try the fishing docks.
It's a long silence. There's like wind whistling in the background of Crow before he says, aye.
He will just kind of smile a bit and say, if you're just getting in, safe to assume you're going to spend a few more days here. Any chance you'd like to join us?
Wait.
He stops smiling. It's like slowly reclining. His jaw is set. His eyes are wide. He turns to you and says, I don't have a son.
He puts a couple crowns on the counter.
Okay. Of course. Good seeing you, sir.
I walk away.
Yeah. And as you do so, just kind of like stepping back into the merchant air, there will be an older gentleman waiting for you. And he will say, you are Crow of the Anaphalee?
He's very reticent to own up to quite such a label, but eventually he'll have to say, aye.
That is good to hear. Your ship came in. I was hoping you were on it. Michael Corrigan would like a word with you. And you know that Michael Corrigan is the Backwater Bruisers, the kind of gang that you helped run the Lee job
Boys.
on. Yeah, the Roughhouse Boys. You got the Roughhouse Boys.
The Rumble Cousins.
Yeah, I'll be summoned. I'll sort of assume subordination and go with him.
Yeah. He will just kind of start leading. Not really saying much himself as he leads you towards the northwest part of town. So we got that. We got Wordsmith. Then we got the Pale Lady. So let's go down the line here. Rastavan and Rakote. You were told that Wordsmith could be found on his home in the south end, but maybe, Rakote, you probably knew this ahead of time. Wordsmith's home is his workshop. He is a typesetter. He is a publisher of magazines and the such, kind of like more personable documentation. Things going on in the cities, the myths, the stories, things like that. What you would almost call tabloids, really.
Sure.
And you can tell or know that following the kind of central street, you will eventually find his stately manor.
Sure.
And arriving outside of it, you see two double doors and are easily allowed entrance, telling them who you are. If you do
is Jessica like covered in like a shawl or something, or is she just out? Yeah, okay. She's not like out in the open.
No, she's spent the last 3 months hiding, and you can kind of see that in her movement. She kind of pitches her back forward, almost as if she were leaning.
All right, yeah, her and I are in a horse costume.
Yeah, it's Carnival. And it is in that way that you're eventually received in Wordsmith's workshop, kind of overlooking a series of 12 printing presses, all of which are being attended to. The noise is pretty deafening down below, but up here, it's easy enough to have a few words between the four of you.
Sure.
And we will kind of open on Wordsmith, just nodding. You can barely tell just by the smoke kind of pitching himself forward, and then he will say, "It is excellent to meet you, Miss Laurent. I can only imagine what you've been through, but I assure you here and now that you are safe. Your troubles are over." I would really like to believe that, she'll say, just kind of keeping a bit of a reservation. And then he will look towards you, Rakote, and say, You are a captain of your word, and we are all better for it. Thank you.
Rakote will say, I have little else these days but my word.
Some people never even have that. I can tell you so much. But words were given, oaths were made, and I believe you have come here for a reason. To know who it was that did you in.
That I have. And his hands are just about shaking as he grips his cane.
Okay. Yeah, he will give that its due credence. Then he will turn towards Jessica and say, Madame, there are things to figure out. Places that are more hospitable for you and your unborn son. I would ask that you go and discuss them with my attaché. He will kind of point towards a corner a bit far removed from where you guys are currently. And you'll say, he will help you choose the life that you want to live. And it is your choice. And Jessica will stand up, look to you, Rastavan, and say, or Rakote, and say, Captain, if we ever have the privilege, and if we ever have the privilege to see each other again, I hope it is under better circumstances.
Rakote will say, I cannot imagine worse circumstances than those which brought you and I together. I pray under the night sky that you find peace, Miss Laurent, for you and your son. Begone. Do not think of the Anaphilia any longer. And be well.
Yeah, she will give a pleasant smile to you as she turns and leaves out the door with the attaché. And Wordsmith, giving that a moment, will say, Good. Well, as you know, the Tyburn Empire is vast, as are its machinations. There is not one part of it that does not rely on the other. But if I were forced to find the two cogs most responsible for your capture, then I would name them thusly. First, Gerard de Villefort, a young addition to the Tyburn Empire that relies on brute force rather than delicate art of negotiation. Another officer might have given you time to reconsider the offer they made to you, but Gerard is not so forgiving. He'll kind of give you a moment if you want to ask questions about him.
Would I be able to roll contacts to know if
Oh, yeah.
if I have any information on this person?
Oh, for sure. Challenge of 2.
Okay.
Okay. True to his word, this man is. There's quite a few people that handle like the up and coming businesses of Tyburn, but in his role, he would basically be responsible for bringing them into the fold, right?
Mhm.
And where he would be doing that is from his kind of position of power, the monarchy's position of power, Prospero, the capital to the north, just beyond the Siren Sea.
Okay.
So in terms of really anything beyond that, what he does specifically, you would really have to kind of be in his sphere of influence to know.
Sure.
But yeah, beyond the Siren Sea to the north.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
He'll say, and the other.
Secondly, your former chief of engineering, Francis Hatter. He looks to have struck a deal with Gerard, as you can see from this document. And then he will present to you a photograph.
Rakote's cane will hit the floor as he steps over and takes the photograph.
Yeah. What you can see is very obviously kind of a reconnaissance photograph. It's a photograph that shows a black scroll, like a document that scrolls from the top of the page all the way down to the bottom. And at the very bottom of it, you can see where both men, both Gerard and Francis Hatter, found enough room to scrawl their names. he will say, just kind of plainly, it may require a magnifying glass to get a better idea of the details, but he seems to have negotiated for the release of 2 prisoners. Who those people are to him, I can't say. But that is, without a doubt, enough to condemn the man.
He had prisoners released.
Yeah.
Okay. Boy. He'll just sort of be lost for words as he sort of runs his thumb over the photograph.
It can be a lot to know the names of those who have done you wrong, but it is a step in the right direction, I promise you, Rakote. I am not without my own business rivals, but to put a face on to put a name on the person who has been hounding you for so long, there's reason to be happy, I assure you.
He'll look over and he'll say, "What reason is that?"
He will just say, because it is better to know that man has done you wrong than outrageous fortune. You cannot rally against that. But a man can be known, can feel the wrong that he has done to you. Call me old-fashioned, but I think that is a reliable way to do things.
Yes. I suppose you are right, but happiness, no. Something else. Something different, something entirely new. And something wicked. Thank you, wordsmith. You've done a great service today for me and for the Anaphalee.
I hope this will not be the end of our agreements.
Oh, absolutely not. If ever there is further business, you should know exactly where to find my ship.
I promise that I will. And he will extend a hand to you.
He'll take it.
Yeah. He will give you a firm handshake and settle back into his seat before rising to look over the word presses.
He'll turn to you, Rastavan, and he'll say, well, it seems our evening has changed quite a bit in tone, Rastavan.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. I can only hope Mr. Hatter has not come to his senses and escaped the port while he had the chance. Let us return to the Anaphalee.
Yeah, he'll just nod. And then I won't return to the Anaphalee.
Oh!
Oh!
Hey, it's my character. I can do what I want.
Oh my
can.
god.
He can. He pushes
I decide to
Rakote
stay
down.
right here the entire time.
he
Our
just
Rastavan
stays in
is
the...
stuck in a walking cycle. We're supposed to be moving on to the next part of the Hatter quest. I just found out who the traitor was, but I can't get Rastavan to move.
No spoilers. This is a no spoiler help thread. Just he's stuck, and I'm on that part of the quest.
That part.
So
Immediate spoiler in the reply post.
Yeah, immediately. So once you find
learn
out
that Hatter is
once you find out that Hatter made a deal with
Davies-
Gerard,
Once you trigger the reveal that Davies framed him, then there should be something. Come on, man.
Oh, you need a soft load, and then you need to put marks on Rosvan, have him stay near Hatter so it doesn't despawn, and then you need to go trigger the wordsmith dialogue and then blow him up.
open console commands.
Half button press on his leaving dialogue.
NA press.
Okay, so yeah, we will have them heading back to the Anaphalee as Pale Lady, you have been trailing after Fisher for some time now.
Yes.
And eventually he just comes to the sea right here, where he runs up to one of these end little docks, and then he will just let himself have a sit. He'll kind of look over to you and whine a little bit.
Yeah. She will be a few steps behind him, kind of gliding along the dock. And as they reach the end of the dock and he sits, she'll look down at him and then look out at the sea. Oh, wow. What has happened to my sheet here? Here we go. I'm going to roll notice, I guess, for anything or lack of anything.
Yeah, sounds good. I got my challenge. Yeah,
Oh,
I
maybe.
mean, you look out and is just the bay that separates the Port of the Nameless from Parliament of Pleasure. That's it.
Well, I'm gonna try to do my due diligence on empathy, but I was hoping perhaps a notice would get me something else. Let's see.
He has a deceive of 0. Beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are two unknowable creatures looking up at each other. And what he does not find in understanding, he finds in companionship. And he just kind of brings himself a bit closer, lets out a little breath, and deflates next to you.
Yeah, the pale lady will kind of lower to her knees and just sink to the end of the dock, sitting with Fisher, who has seemingly not found the thing that he is searching for, and she will kind of bring a hand up and pat him on his wrinkly back.
Yeah.
And say, "I am sorry, but you will find it one day."
And as you are saying that, you'll, from the other end of the dock, hear a man's voice shout out, "Cooper? Cooper, is that you?" And the dog will immediately turn on its heels and start running in the direction of the voice.
And bite him.
Yeah, attack him and attack
As he is
him.
trained to with all strangers above 6'1".
It's very aggressive.
Hey there, bud. You swim all the way here? Go ahead. You'll see a man that is very apparently a sailor. Just kind of like he has the tan lines that are just kind of like running alongside his face and kind of the tight boils of being in the sun too long.
Yeah, the pale lady will rise and turning around to see Fisher, now named Cooper, excitedly greeting the sailor. She will ask, "Is this him, the thing you are looking for?"
The dog will just kind of sit down on your side, and the man will just kind of like scratch his head for a minute. It's a dog, so if you want to roll empathy, you can.
I won't.
I don't know.
I feel.
I don't even think it's interesting. There's no interesting failure here. No, it's not quite. But he is happy to see this man.
The pale lady will approach, kind of like looming over him unintentionally, and say, "The creature found his way onto our ship."
Oh, that sounds like him. He'll say, looking up at you. And you are?
Kind of list her head. She'll say, "I am called the Pale Lady."
Right. Well, you and your dog. Well, I also say you and Cooper make a good match. I'll just kind of look and say, what would he say?
I don't mean that like.
No,
Like,
yeah,
I didn't mean that like. Oh no.
Oh boy.
he'll just say, it's bad luck what happened to Milo, but there's no reason he should still. Or no, it's what is it? Fuck me. It's
Yeah, he
bad
bit
luck.
some kids, but he should be good out there.
Come on, you buy one kid, two kids,
7 kids.
Listen, that's the one dog I'm okay with a cop shooting.
You will say, it's bad luck what happened to Fisher, but I'm glad to see Cooper still doing all right.
She will kind of look down curiously and say, "This one is Fisher."
Sorry to say it isn't. That was his partner, his owner.
Then why bear the name?
What, Fisher? So you know who to look for if you got lost.
I see. She'll look down and say, "Will you take him then?"
Sorry, ma'am, but Captain doesn't like animals aboard.
So he is searching for someone who will not return.
Lost the ocean, ma'am. Not much else to say about it. It's the way of sailors. Fortunate as it might be.
I am well aware of the fate of sailors.
Yeah, you might be. I'll say, just like kind of giving that its due credence.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
Thank you for looking after him. He's a good dog, as funny as he might look. I'll just say, giving a slight snicker and patting him on the head.
He is a strange creature, but I have come to enjoy that about him. In a strange way, we understand each other. And the sea.
And I don't think you could have found anyone better. He'll sling his kind of pack over his shoulder. And then looking kind of eastward, he'll say, if he ever gets homesick, just take him over to Divers Point, just north of Samara. There are a
Is
few
that...
other people that would love to see him there.
Ah. She'll say, "Very well."
He will, again, just give one last pat and then start walking down the dock again.
She will look down at, not Fisher,
Cooper.
Cooper, and
Yeah.
she will say, "Are you satisfied?"
He'll start spinning in circles.
Takes a shit.
Chasing his tail for a minute, his spin.
We must return to the ship.
And just kind of giving one last look towards the ocean. He'll howl once and then trot behind you.
And then we will go.
Okay, perfect. And then that leaves Crow. All right. Crow, you're led by the old man down the familiar alleyways.